In Warhammer 40k, Tyranids aren't just your everyday xenos or aliens. They aren't the mundane movie aliens, they are an extinction-level event, the likes of which only a few examples in the entirety of science fiction that can rival. Picture an all-consuming swarm driven by a single hive mind, utterly focused on devouring every scrap of organic material in their path. They don't just invade worlds, they strip them bare and clean. Oceans gone, atmosphere sucked in. Every shred of biomass consumed and turned into more Tyranids. These guys are the cosmic equivalent of a black hole, but with teeth. Their whole gig revolves around perfect adaptation. They don't waste time on trial and error. Instead, they craft specialized bioforms and lifeforms, everything from ripper swarms, which are tiny, to colossal Carnifexes. But to deliver this horror across the galaxy, the Tyranids use their most terrifying creations, the bioships. So here in this video, we will analyze one of the deadliest specimens of these space leviathans. Let's get to it. Now, these bioships aren't just in a league, they are a league of their own. Forget metal and circuits, these ships are alive. They are massive, they are organic monstrosities engineered to survive and thrive in the void of space. Each is a self-sustaining ecosystem capable of producing everything from Tyranid ground forces to defensive organisms. But they're not just factories, they are weapons as well. Bioships can unleash devastating salvos of bioplasma, acidic projectiles, and other grotesque biological armaments. Think of them as gigantic, hungry beasts with enough firepower to make even the Imperium's finest battleships nervous. And at the heart of every Hive fleet is the motherlode, the Hive-ship. These monstrous vessels are the linchpins of the fleet, acting as psychic hubs for the hive mind to control the swarm. And when a hive ship shows up, yeah, things get very bad very fast. Now let's talk about one of the deadliest and toughest SOB hive ship ever to be encountered, the Ancient One, one of the most infamous hive ships to ever exist. This thing wasn't just big, it was a literal galactic leviathan, clocking in at a staggering 30 to 40 kilometers long and weighing in at over 100 megatons. Well, approximately speaking, the Ancient One was a living nightmare. Imagine something the size of a small moon with the personality of a starved predator. Its physical description was nothing short of terrifying. Stone-like armor plating, covered in grotesque clusters of biological weapons, which gives it a fortress-like appearance. Its sheer mass made it slow and cumbersome, but it didn't need to be quick. It was what it was. Its primary weapons were massive feeder tentacles, jagged spikes, and writhing tendrils that could shred anything foolish enough to enter too close. Combine that with its psychic scream, a shockwave that could demoralize entire fleets and cause havoc, and here you have a creature that was almost impossible to kill. But what made the Ancient One truly special was its independence, well, semi-independence. Unlike other hive ships, it didn't rely on a non-queen, the Tyranid brainbox that usually handled bioform creation and fleet coordination. Nope, the Ancient One was a self-contained super predator. It was the hive mind for its tendril of the fleet. It churned out bioforms directly from the biopools inside its cavernous interior, adapting to battle conditions on its own. This independence also meant it wasn't just another cog in the swarm. It was an anomaly, a freak of evolution, perhaps older than a hive fleet themselves. Maybe, we're just saying that for exaggerated flair. It is forged from biomass from countless devoured worlds and perfected over millennia. Now here's the thing about the Ancient One. Although it wasn't perfect, it was nearly invincible in close combat. Its tentacles could tear through even the largest Imperial battleships like wet paper. Its pyro-acid artillery could melt armor with ease, but it lacked effective long-range firepower. Most of its strength was up close and personal, which meant faster, more agile ships could stay out of range and pepper it with attacks. That said, actually killing it was another matter entirely. The Ancient One's regenerative capabilities and ludicrous health pool made it a nightmare to bring it down. It couldn't hide or outmaneuver its enemies due to its size, but it didn't need to. It could take on a full torpedo barrage to the face and keep on coming. The Ancient One's last recorded engagement took place shortly after the 13th Black Crusade in the Menshura Trench of space. The Imperium, recognizing the sheer threat posed by this monstrosity, dispatched Admiral Spire to deal with it. What followed was a battle for the ages, chronicled in the Battlefleet Gothic Armada II. Despite the best efforts of the Spire's fleet, the Ancient One was a nightmare to fight. Its psychic scream disrupted fleet cohesion, its feeder tendrils and tentacles shredded ships at close range, and its unrelenting swarms of attack craft overwhelmed even the most stalwart defenders. Only by coordination and utilizing every available weapons, exploiting its massive size and slow speed, and throwing everything, and when I say everything I mean everything, including a desperate sacrificial gambit, was the Imperium ultimately able to destroy it. But even in death, the Ancient One left a mark. The Menchero Trench was rendered an impassable graveyard of ruined ships and drifting biomass. Many of the Spire's ships were lost, and the survivors bore the scars of battle for decades, and not to mention trauma. The Ancient One was gone, but it had devoured countless worlds and fleets in its lifetime. It is a grim reminder of the Tyranids' inexorable hunger. In the end, the Ancient One wasn't just a hive ship, it was a symbol of the Tyranids' ultimate purpose. A creature that embodied the Hive fleet's terrifying ability to adapt, consume and destroy. Even in a galaxy filled with horrors, it stood out as something uniquely monstrous. Its story serves as a stark warning. When the Tyranids come for you, there is no running, no hiding, only a fight for survival, if you're lucky. So if you like this video, then check this other one too. And if you want to browse for other Warhammer and other sci-fi content, then check out our channel. We might have things you haven't seen before. So subscribe, like for support, and yeah, while you're at it, bang on the bell icon for regular notifications on new video uploads. Till the next time, take care, boys.